Hello everyone, my name is John Bussart. I'm an HPE Solution Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support servers, blade systems, storage, as well as networking technology solutions from HPE. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint and then present to you what that means within a management interface. Today we're going to be looking at HPE's ProLiant Gen10 server technology. And specifically, we're going to be looking at an unboxing of a DL360 Gen10 server. The DL360 servers are a 1U rack-mountable server that can support up to 2 Intel Xeon processors. And with this generation, you can have up to 28 cores in these processors. The system also has access to 24 DDR4 memory slots, and 12 of those could be configured for persistent memory, or NVMe DIMMs. These are special DIMMs that can go in the system and act as persistent storage that's connected directly to the memory bus. So if the system reboots, your information on them will survive the reboot. The system also has access to 10 NVMe drives and a variety of configurations of large form factor and small form factor drives. With ILO 5, we can have enhanced security by adding the ILO Advanced Enhanced Premium Security Edition. That'll give us access to special features such as being able to detect if the firmware has been tampered with and then halt the system, revert to known good firmware, or continue running if you so choose. The DL360 line of servers has been a workhorse within our industry. It runs a variety of workloads that are commonplace within a data center. So, with all that being said, let's explore this system. Alright, so this is the box for our DL360 Gen10 server. I've opened it up and looked inside already, but I put everything back, and this is what you should expect if you get one of these systems. This system is a configure to order system, a CTO system, so I've had some options and things added on, but generally speaking, this is what you see if you purchase one of these servers. So let's open this guy up. Right on top here, we see the rack mount rails. So pretty easy to install rack mount rails, they just clip right in. Up front here is a bag that includes my accessories. In my case, it's some power cords, and I had a fiber channel module installed in this guy, so it also includes SFP modules. Piece of foam over here, another piece of foam back here. So another thing that I noticed is they have protective cardboard here as well as a piece of foam over here to keep it in place. So let me pull this server out and we'll explore it a little bit deeper. Alright, here's the front of our DL360 Gen10 server. My server is configured with small form factor drives, and we have the ability to have 10 of those drives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These two bays would be a universal media bay, and you can see that designated over here. So I can install different options over here. One of those options is certainly an optical drive. In my system, I have the ability to put NVMe drives, and I'll show you how that's cabled up on the inside once we get internal to the system. My system has some SSD drives, so some 480 gig SSD drives. Now they do have options for large form factor based systems, so basically that'll be 4 large form factor drives across the bottom, and then up on top over here you could put an optical drive if you wanted to. But I think more and more people are getting used to coming into their servers through ILO. ILO's come a long way, and the ILO Advanced license. Over here is our serial number. Here is a USB 3 port. Good. Our power and UID lights. So again, I could press that and go look in the back and find the server. A blue light will flash. And over here is something interesting. It is an ILO access port, a front access ILO port. You can do some interesting things like this. They offer a USB to Ethernet adapter so you can get direct access to the ILO port through the front. Another interesting thing that I've seen them do with that port is you can create a special USB drive with a script on it and plug it in, and it'll actually offload the log files from the system. Okay. So that is the front of our system. Let's go take a look at the back. Okay, here's the back of our DL360 Gen10 server. I have installed in this server a couple of redundant 800 watt power supplies. Over here is my full height PCI Express slot, and right next to it I have a half height PCI Express slot. And if you add a riser and the extra processor, you have two processors installed, you can have a third low profile PCI Express slot. In my FlexLOM slot, which is over here, I have a dual port 10 gig Ethernet adapter, and again this Ethernet adapter can do fiber channel over Ethernet. Right next to that I have two USB 3.0 ports, a space where I can install a serial port, my ILO port, right, for remote management, as well as my 4 onboard Ethernet ports. And then over here is my VGA port for this system. One of the interesting things about configurations of this system is I have the ability to swap out the riser, right? And this replacement riser could give me access to another small form factor hard drive here. So certainly HP servers are all about a lot of options and different ways to be able to configure these systems based on what your business needs are. So let's take a look at the inside of this system now. Alright, so here's the top of our ProLiant DL360 Gen10 server. So let's open her up. Obviously, with all HP ProLiant servers, on the bottom of the cover is a nice informative guide to the layout of the system. If you work on these systems day in and day out, you'll find this pretty handy as far as maintaining this environment. My system only has one processor installed, so I have a blank over here. If I was to purchase another processor upgrade option, it would not only come with the processor, the heat sink, but it would also come with the extra 2 fans that I would need over here. All right. So and obviously anything with a purple tab on it is hot pluggable. So these fans here are hot pluggable. So let's pull one of those guys out. All right. There you go. Up front here is my battery for the system. In the event of a power outage, it gives the ability for RAID controllers to be able to flush out their cache or hold their information in cache. That runs around underneath and plugs in right here. All right. And then obviously onboard RAID controllers can get that power, as well as RAID controllers that are installed inside a PCI slot. So let's pull that out. There's my riser. Right. And if I was to install a RAID controller in this slot, for example, there's a connector, or there would be a cable that would connect to here that would come with that RAID controller that would plug into that. So there's a variety of different risers that are optional for this system. There's this one has a 16x slot on this side, which is full height, and then on my low profile slot, right, which is 8x. And I got a fiber channel adapter installed in that slot. Another interesting thing about this setup is over here, this can be removed as well, and I can add another riser here. So some other things over here, in my FlexLOM slot, I've got a 10 gig adapter, and this is going to be a 534 FLR-SFP Plus. So this is 10 gig. It can do fiber channel over Ethernet as well. There's the back of that guy. Here is the memory. So we have DDR4 memory inside the system. So let me take out a stick of that. You can take a look. And obviously only half of these memory slots are available to the system because I only have one processor installed currently. In here in this slot I have a RAID controller. It is a P408I-A. So let me loosen this guy up and take this out. Let's connect the cables real quick. All right, let's get a better look at this controller. And there's its special connector which goes right over here. Now I had mentioned that the system had a couple NVMe drive bays up front, so those are cabled interestingly enough. So these two cables run over here, and one plugs into this slot and the other one plugs in over here. Right? This cable here comes back and it traces all the way on over to this over here. And part of it goes to these what look like SAS connectors, but it's actually a SATA port, as well as these SATA ports here. So again, this interesting cable comes out and powers the two NVMe drives up in the front. Let's put this guy back together. And we'll also get the riser in. And then we'll replace the cover as well. Okay. Well, that's the inside of our system. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for other videos.